You already know who it is, James Jersey Mason. And you know I love J-Ross TV.
What's up, y'all? Hey, man, it's a treat, y'all, hanging out with my dude, Jer-z, man. I ain't seen him since he was here with Floetry, but he in St. Louis again, hitting with Ella May, and they gonna put it down at the pageant tonight. But, man, for you cats that don't know Jer-z, man, this dude got some history on him, man. This cat done played with everybody, man. And, like, Jer-z, man, one of the questions I always had wanted to ask you, man, like, when you up there, and all them people screaming, man, do you revert back in your mind to like when you first was in the basement or at the crib, just hitting on your percussions, trying to learn?
I mean, I think every time I perform, whether it be production, whether it be I'm a musician for that day, whatever capacity, I try to always remember those days because those are the days that keep you humble. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I always revert back. You know what I mean? And be like, dang. Even on this tour, it's like, man. I remember a couple years ago, you know, my passport was revoked, so that stopped a lot of movement as far as me working in the industry. You know what I mean? But now that it's back, I can just look back at them years and be like, dang. Then I look back and think about when I first started and where I am now. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But now looking back, Jer-z, man, for like the cats that's looking up to you and want to follow in your footsteps and be where you are, man. Did you see it? You know, when you was practicing, did you see the success coming, man, or you just figured, all right, y'all know this Hood Rat TV, but did you see the success coming, man, or did you? I know you earned it, but what was your mind at then?
You know what? It's crazy because I was a little sheltered as a kid.
Yeah.
So all I knew was gospel. Literally, I saw shows on TV. I saw Little John on Velvet Rope Tour, but you know, I never imagined myself ever being on that level. And then it happened all in one day. One person saw me play percussion, and next thing I know, I'm on tour with Jill Scott. Literally,
straight up
like that.
A lot of folks don't get that lucky, man.
I mean, but it's not. I mean, yeah.
Not so much as luck as far as you putting in the time and the work,
and that's
but being discovered though.
Yeah, I was playing with like 6 gospel bands at this point, so I was trying to flood. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's at a point where gospel wasn't really using percussionists.
Yeah.
Especially on the East Coast. You know what I mean? So I was like in high demand. So I did a recording, and Eric Tribbett was there. Who knew? You know what I mean? And he called me 2 weeks later. Yo, you was dope at the recording. Can you come do this Jill Scott? This back before Jill even popped.
Right.
Her video hadn't even dropped yet to the single. So I'm like, who is Jill Scott? That's the name of the album, but I literally was like, who is Jill Scott? Like, Gil Scott Heron? It's like, nah, Jill Scott, she from Philly. New artist. I'm like, all right. And, 20 years later, I'm still here, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
It's amazing. I'm blessed.
Now, at that time when you was first kicking off, playing with all the gospel cats and everything, how was the atmosphere then? Like, was it conducive for everybody helping one another, or did you have to just grind and claw by yourself?
It was a little bit of both, you know what I mean? I was running with a crew and called the Ballhead Band, back in the day. And shout out to Bubby Fan and John Howard, Jared Howard, Mike Stokes, James Stokes. And they were just playing for a couple different groups, and it was like everybody had a drummer.
Yeah.
Nobody had a percussionist. So I just, found my little niche and went from there. You know what I mean? It was like I had to find something that was going to separate me from the 30 drummers that were in line for this one gig.
Right.
When it's an open seat right here that nobody is even paying attention to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's tight, man. So you developed your seat.
I guess.
Well, you did. I mean, it was an open seat. You filled the spot.
Yeah.
Before then, did you know how to play percussions already?
No, it was like almost like a self-taught thing.
So you earned the spot. You made the spot, dude.
Yeah, and I, little people gave me tips here and there, but I literally have never had like a formal percussion teacher that sat me down. You know what I mean? Me and the homies, we all learned together. And especially being drummers, I had to learn a lot real fast. And I credit Eric Tribbett a lot, because he was the first one that brought me into a disciplined area. You know, as gospel, I didn't have to play the same thing every night. You know what I mean? I didn't have to play patterns. I could just, you know, be tasteful and try to maneuver my way through the music. But when I got with Jill, he was like, yo, no, like, you playing too much. Like, you know, pick a pattern and just play that pattern, the whole song.
Right.
And I'm just like, wow, this is crazy. But once you start to understand, he made me understand it. Like, you're literally the track.
Yeah.
Because back then, people were running tracks, but it wasn't as heavily populated as the tracks are these days.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So there was still room for me to play all the accent parts.
So at that time, man, playing percussions, how hard was it for you to lock with the drummer?
It was hard when I first started.
Yeah.
Because I'm a drummer myself, so a lot of things and some of the fills that I would try to do would be where the drummer would do his fills because I'm a drummer.
Right.
So I had to learn to distinguish percussion from drums. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had to separate myself from being a drummer and play percussion.
Yeah.
And not play drums on percussion. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it was hard at first.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have discipline. You know, and that's what a lot of young drummers get caught up in, you know what I mean, coming up in the church. There isn't a lot of discipline. You know, it may be a little bit of discipline, but it's not to the point where, you know, when you get on a scene and they ask you to play pocket, like, we don't want to hear no chops. We just want you to play and make it feel good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And in church, it's all feeling.
So coming from the church and then playing in an ensemble in a band where you just got to play one pattern, like you said, it was difficult. So when did you find yourself grooving like, oh yeah, I'm getting this now, I'm in?
Couple months in. I mean, the craziest was when I started with Jill. Our first show with Jill was 106 in Park.
I remember that.
And if you ever pay attention to that show, the whole time Eric's playing the drums and he's just playing long walk, shaking his head. Because it started with me, and I was so nervous. I played the pattern, but I played it backwards the whole way through.
Yeah, Jay.
Strong and wrong, baby. I was wrong, but I was strong all the way through. I played that pattern backwards all the way through, and he just played the whole time like.
But he was the kind of cat though that let you make mistakes and grow.
I mean, at that point, it was lights, camera, action. We couldn't stop and start over. You know what I mean? That's 106 in Park.
Yeah.
So, you know, it was like, they grinded me up, though, after that show. And then the next show we had with Jill, our second show ever with Jill, was Much Music, which is like the Canada MTV.
Yeah.
So they got on me so bad. That next show, I was on it, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, like, the discipline that they was teaching you, and then they had to beat you down a little bit. And
I don't think it was that I didn't learn the discipline for that first show. I had the discipline. I just never been on a stage that big where I'm being viewed all over the world. You know what I mean?
So you let it get to your mind.
I was psyched out. I was sweating in my hand. You know, this is my first show with Jill, and it's 106 in Park.
Man,
like BET, like millions of people are watching this.
But yeah, man. So in doing that, how did you conquer your fears, man? After that, you know, because
it was a situation where if I didn't, I was going home.
Man, so pressure was on.
It was the pressure, you know what I mean? And I think early on I learned how to deal with pressure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was, yo, you need to go study these records, listen to what you did in rehearsal, so tomorrow when we play these same songs on Much Music in Canada, we won't have no problems.
Yeah.
And it was like, you know, it wasn't so much a study thing. It was like I got to get out of my psyche.
Right.
Because I just psyched myself out.
Man, so like, all right, so when you get to the next gig, you was ready to roll?
We killed it.
Yeah.
Killed it.
So was it still like, how much, all right, if you had to gauge the fear for the next show, was it 50-50?
It was more because now, whereas going into the first show, it was just the pressure of never ever having been in an arena that big. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was the pressure. Now the second show, it was the same pressure because Much Music is MTV's Canada.
Yeah.
So millions of people are going to see this, but if you mess up this time, you'll be going home.
Man.
So the pressure was greater for the second show.
Man.
But like I said, I deal well under pressure.
Hey man, can you explain the brain chemistry, man, when that many people screaming, man, and you on that stage, man, you earned your way? What's that like, man?
It's amazing, you know, to know that people appreciate even your little part that you play. You know?
No, Jer-z, what is it like to you, man? I mean, do you want to just take your pistol and shoot in the air? Do you want to run around in your drawers? I mean,
oh, I've done crazy things, you know.
I mean, to have that many people, man, and you a part of it, man. What is it? Is it a gut feeling?
It's a high.
What kind of high? I mean, you just gone? You just
It's like a high that you still have to focus, so you can't really let go most of the time because you're still in the middle of a show.
Yeah.
When they're screaming, so you really can't let go. You still have to stay focused, but it is a high that is unmatched.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
I ain't never felt it, dog. I ain't never felt it.
Is a high that's like, wow. Sometimes you can look out in the crowd and be like, I can't even see the end of the crowd when you do these festivals.
Yeah,
and stuff. It's
my
like,
goodness.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's go.
You ever been emotional?
No, I'm not. I'm not too much of an emotional guy.
Yeah.
To get all teary-eyed, nothing like that. But I've definitely been at the point where I was totally blown away at all. Like, you know.
Now, that kind of excitement, what kind of what does it do to your spirit as far as the groove, your particular groove with the band?
Oh, it puts you in a great place. You know what I mean? When you walk out there and the people start screaming, to let you know that we're ready. Come on, bring it.
Yes, sir.
So you look at your other homies and you're like, all right, y'all, you hear that? Let's go. Showtime. You know what I mean? So that's definitely like it's a battery in your back.
Man, just think 90% of the people that you know that play music will never feel that feeling, man. They'll never get that high that you experience, man. That's a blessing, man.
Yeah, it is, man.
You know, now tell my viewers, man, something about Jer-z Mason that only you know, man, that you willing to talk about.
A lot of people probably don't know how I crossed lanes, so many lanes in this industry. I started out playing percussion. You know, I played with everybody from Jill Scott to Floetry to Jer-z, Mary J. Blige, Young Jeezy. List goes on. After that, I started teching. You know what I mean? I tech with Keisha Cole. I tech with Kim. I tech with Raheem Devon. Then next thing I know, I got handed a stage manager position. And since then, I done stage managed for Black. I done stage managed for LMA. I done stage managed for the internet. I done stage managed for the 90s Black Party Tour. After that, I got called to be a DJ for Chris Rock. So I traveled the world being a DJ for Chris Rock. After that, I got a call to do a Netflix special. Being a DJ with Michelle Wolf. If y'all ever get a chance, go on Netflix and check it out. It's called The Break. And I'm on there as just a comedian and a DJ.
Yeah.
And, you know, just like so many lanes that people don't realize, like, I'm still 20 years later not playing percussion like I came into the industry doing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Not playing drums, which I done did on tour as well. But now I'm on the production side of things, stage managing, teching, and I love it because I'm still within my, you know what I mean? I'm still in the music industry, and I still get that feeling. You know, the feeling's coming from a different angle now. And now it's, when the people scream, when the artists walk out there, I feel like they're screaming because I set up all the equipment, because the musicians are comfortable. You know what I mean? Because my artists are comfortable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's a different feeling than actually being the artist on stage. You know what I mean? Now I sit on the side and just look like, yeah, I did that. You know what I mean? And a lot of people in the audience won't appreciate that because they don't pay attention to the little things.
Right.
Like, oh, they just think when we walked in, the instruments were set up. you know, the lights move by themselves, or you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's a lot of things that go into making a show happen that a lot of people in the audience don't really focus on. They just focus on the artist that they came to see and maybe the DJ. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's so much that goes into a show before the music even happens.
Man, say, hey, Jer, so where do your creativity come from, man? Is it just span all across your life, or?
Just from my homies, like so many musicians that I work with, you know, and a lot of times creativity is just taking something that somebody else did and making it your own.
Right.
You know what I mean? I may have seen somebody else do something crazy with some chords, and when you look at it from afar, you can't even tell that the keyboard has chords in it. So now I'm gonna figure out a way to get my chords to run in a way that you can't see them. When you know what I mean? So I just bounce off homies. You know, we bounce each ideas off each other. I may be sitting one day and be like, how can I do this better? You know, I'm always trying to think of something to do better.
Yeah.
All right, you know, I got the drum set up, but what will make him more comfortable? You know, on my last tour, I had a candle up there for my drummer. You know what I mean? And it wasn't it was like I wanted him to be that comfortable that he had an aroma around his set that put him in a place where he was comfortable, calm, and ready to play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I said, my excitement comes from a different place now, as opposed to walking on the percussion or walking on the drums and getting that from the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Now I get it from the side of the stage, but I still receive it in a different
kind of way, right?
You know what I mean? Because it's not so much even that I'm reacting to the crowd now. Now I react to how they react to the crowd. Because if they're hyped and they are comfortable, they're going to play their best show ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's my goal as a stage manager, as a tech, to have my musicians that are on my stage the most comfortable they ever been. So even if I lead this tour and they go on another tour, they'll always say, yo, do good, but Jer-z used to have us.
Have it tight,
Have us comfy, boy. And so, that's, you know, it's more of a feeling for me. Like, you know, that's why I try to have a personal relationship with everybody on stage, the background singers, the artists, the musicians, one-on-one, so I can figure you out, you can figure me out, we can, you know what I mean? So you can talk to me and feel open to talk to me and be like, yo, Jer-z, this ain't right. Let's do this way. Or, you know what I mean, Jer-z, what you think we can do something different with this to make this happen? Yeah, let me sit and think about it. By the time you get here, I'll have it figured out. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
That type stuff. So I'm just enjoying being blessed. God definitely is blessing me, you know, with accounts now that, you know, I can put other people on so that while I'm doing this, I can have somebody else working. When I'm done this, I can go assume my position at that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's been a blessing, man, these past couple years.
But yeah, man, that's awesome, dude. You've been working it, man. You've been putting in your work. You're grinding. You got where you want to be. But now, Jay, where you see yourself at, or where you want to be 5-10 years from now?
5-10 years from now, I definitely don't see myself on stage anymore. I've done 20 plus on stage. So, you know, maybe production manager, maybe tour manager, something definitely music related, but not as physically demanding. You know what I mean? I feel like 20 plus years I put in my time on the stage. You know what I mean? So definitely looking forward to tour managing, looking forward to artist management, looking forward to production manager. You know, just something not where I'm dragging cases or, you know, not even playing anymore. Yeah. Like, I'm always have a desire, because that's my first love, to play. But, you know, at this point in my life, that's not as important as it used to be. You know, as you evolve, different things become important. You know what I mean? So playing, you know, a lot of people say, yo, you ever gonna play again? You know, it's like, I'm sure I will, but I'm not chasing that anymore. Yeah. Now I'm chasing something in a totally different lane. You know, you got younger guys that are chasing what their dreams are to be. I feel like I chase my dreams, I reach my goals, and I set new goals, you know what I mean? And I'm sure once I reach there, I'll set new goals. And that's how life goes. You just keep setting goals, and hopefully, you know, people are reaching these goals. You know, they're not so far-fetched or so far away that you spend your whole life trying to reach a goal. You know what I mean? Hopefully, mid-life, you reached a couple goals and you've moved on. You know what I mean?
That's all good. Hey, y'all. Hey, Jer-z, get the information, man, where folks can find you at, man, and holler at you and pick your brain, man.
Y'all already know what it is. Man of the Night on Instagram, MANOVDANIGHT. Man over the night. Get at me. Facebook, Jer-z Mason. And yeah, that's about it. Y'all know what it is.
All right, y'all. Hanging out with my cat Jer-z, man. I want to thank him for inviting me in, man, on the tour and checking him out. And we're going to let him bounce, y'all. Line check in a few minutes. Your boy J-Ross TV.
J-Ross
we 10 million
TV.
strong and we
I
gone.
love J-Ross TV, baby.